Good evening. My name is Suzanne, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about workers' compensation. I have some brochures here with information, some of which we'll go over tonight. Just a fact, in 2012, there were 3 million work-related accidents reported. Reported being the key word because a lot of them do go unreported. Of those 3 million, there were 4,300 of those were fatal. So that is 84 a week, accidents or fatal accidents a week, and 12 a day. Most of those fatal accidents occur in the construction industry. It occurs with what they call the fatal four. The top 4 reasons for fatalities are falls, struck by objects, electrocutions, and being caught in between something. Falls is the majority of it. So tonight I want to give you a little information about workers' compensation. Some of you guys may have already had a work-related injury or know somebody that has, but this will give you an idea of what to expect in the event that you do. So first I want to talk about coverage. Who's covered? What is covered? Number one thing is workers' compensation is mandated by the state. It is state regulated. It is your employer does not come up with the laws. Each state is different. So we're going to talk about Florida today since we all live in Florida. You have day one coverage. So from the moment you step on the premises of your company, you are covered under workers' compensation. You have no deductibles, no copayment. There's nothing that you're paying out of your own pocket. Just because an accident occurs on the job, it does not mean it's work-related. A lot of people feel that they fall at work, that it is in fact work-related, but unfortunately that is not the case. So some things or examples of things that are not work-related is horseplay. So playing with another coworker or what have you, throwing a ball around and you end up getting injured, that would not be covered. Idiopathic, what that means is that if you were anything that could happen somewhere else, it's not specific to the workplace. So if your heel of your pants your heel would get caught in the hem of your pants and you were to fall, just because it happened at work, doesn't mean it's work-related. That's considered idiopathic. Positive drug tests, if you were to test positive after the accident, that could be denied. And self-inflicted. Believe it or not, people do inflict injury on themselves. And if that can be found to be the case, it would be denied. So once you have an accident, what can you expect? What kind of benefits are out there for you? So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. The main thing is to report immediately. In the state of Florida, we have 30 days, but the best is that you report it immediately. The details are fresh. It just comes across better when you are reporting the accident day one versus 30 days later. Once you report the claim, you would get a call from an adjuster to take your statement, to do an investigation, to determine compensability. They would provide you medical treatment if you want it. Some people don't, but if you want it, they would provide you medical treatment. Medical is paid at 100% as long as it's been approved by your employer carrier. Unfortunately, you can't go to your own provider. You have to go to who you're directed to. If you are taken out of work by the doctor, and in the state of Florida, just so we all know, the doctor cannot take you out of work unless you've had a surgery, you have a contagious illness, you have an infection, you've been hospitalized, or you have a cognitive impairment. That's the only time they can take you out of work. Otherwise, they have to give you physical limitations. So you hurt your arm, you can't lift your arm, you can't use your arm. Those physical limitations go to your employer. Your employer says, yes, we can accommodate, or no, we can't. If they can accommodate you, then you would be able to return to work in a light-duty job and most likely wouldn't be receiving your regular pay because you're in a modified job. You're doing a job different than what you normally would do. So you would be paid temporary partial benefits. If you are completely out of work because they cannot accommodate you, or you have had a surgery or a contagious illness or what have you, then you would be paid temporary total disability benefits. Unfortunately, workers' comp does not make you whole. If you're out of work, the most you'll receive is 66 2/3 of an average weekly wage. And your average weekly wage is based on your earnings 13 weeks before your accident. We take all your 13 weeks up, we divide it by 13, we come up with an average weekly wage, and then you would receive 66 2/3 of that amount, up to a state maximum. For an example, this year in the state of Florida, the most you can receive is $823, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you make $120,000 a year. That's the most that you can receive. So that just gives you an idea from a medical standpoint what benefits are available, and also from a lost wage or an indemnity standpoint. Also, the doctor is trying to, treat you and release you and get you back to being able to do your job. And they want to get you to full duty. That's the objective. So at some point during your treatment, they're going to place you at maximum medical improvement. And once you're placed at maximum medical improvement, that is when they release you from care, and then you may or may not be paid out an impairment benefit. The doctor looks at a state guide, they may pay you out an impairment benefit, and then your claim would basically close. Florida does allow you to continue to treat for that same injury as long as you have objective medical findings, and you can treat for that injury anytime you want as long as you go once a year. It will continuously stay open. So that just gives you an idea of workers' compensation, so that if you were to have a claim or anything, you would, have a little bit of insight. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.